This has been said over and over again. Vaccines are not silver bullets. They do not signal the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are still a long way from taming the virus. Vaccination drives have been hit by shortages and not to mention controversies. Meanwhile, people have started returning to their normal lives. The result? A record surge in Wuhan virus infections. We start with Europe. It is now battling a third wave. France reported 30,000 new cases on Sunday. 15 regions will go into a month-long partial lockdown, including Paris. Around 21 million French citizens will be affected by the new rules. The same story in Germany. The virus incidence rate is now 100 cases per 100,000 people. So statistically, for every 100,000 Germans, at least 100 are COVID-19 patients. So what is Berlin's plan? To extend the lockdown into April. This means more trouble for small businesses. Remember, lockdowns have become extremely unpopular in Germany. They cost Angela Merkel's party in the recent local elections as well. But the country has no choice. So if you thought lockdowns were a thing of 2020, it's time to think again. The only European country doing relatively well is the UK, almost a change of fortunes compared to this time last year. Britain is racing ahead of the EU in vaccinating its people, but it could soon be plagued by shortages. On Thursday, EU leaders are set to meet virtually. They are going to address the bloc's stumbling vaccine rollout. Every response is on the table, including blocking the export of jabs, something that UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is wary of.
Reassured by talking to EU partners over the last few months that they don't want to see blockades. I think that's very, very important. But clearly what matters to us in the UK is we get on with the rollout of the vaccine programme. I think we've now done over half the adults in the country, which is very, very good news.
Most of Europe is under some kind of restrictions. So summer holidays are going to be a big no this year too, it seems. In South America, Brazil is defying the trends and not in a good way. On Friday, the country reported more than 90,000 cases. It was the second deadliest day of Brazil's COVID-19 outbreak. So why are things going from bad to worse? We are going to show you two videos now. These videos depict the problem in a nutshell. The first comes from Sao Paulo. Brazilian cops are breaking up illegal parties. Gatherings like this one are driving up the cases of the Wuhan virus in Brazil. Regional governors have started imposing tighter curbs. They are also deploying more officers to break up the parties. Now watch the second video. It is from the Brazilian capital. The president, Jair Bolsonaro, is celebrating his 66th birthday. Dozens of his supporters have gathered outside his residence. There is no social distancing, no masks, interestingly, no cops either to break up the gathering. In typical Bolsonaro style, the president attacked lockdown measures. He says he is fighting for the people's freedom.
You can be sure of one thing, that my strength comes from within me and from you. If someone thinks that one day we will give up our freedoms, then they are mistaken. Some tyrants have taken away many of our freedoms. You can be sure that our army, and you also, you can count on our armed forces for democracy, for freedom. I would do anything for my people.
India is also at a crucial juncture. In the last 24 hours, almost 47,000 cases have been reported. It was the deadliest day since November last year. Here's the question. Is India on the brink of another wave of Wuhan virus infections? The data is worrying. There has been a 67% surge in the weekly caseload. The weekly death toll has jumped 41%. It's at a 9-week high. But there is one encouraging sign. The fatality rate remains low. Last year, when India was recording similar caseloads, the death rate was much higher. What does this mean, though? India has built up its health infrastructure over the last year, so fewer Indians are now dying from the virus. As many as 8 states are driving up India's numbers. They are Maharashtra, Punjab, Karnataka, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Haryana. The government seems focused on the vaccine campaign. It has so far resisted the temptation to reimpose lockdowns. There is a lesson to be learned from these 3 examples. Yes, the vaccines work, but they work in a collective. Unless herd immunity is achieved, social distancing must continue. Exactly a year back, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the Janata Curfew, a citizen-led lockdown. The current situation is fast resembling 2020. It is a new year, a new policy, but the same virus. So vigilance is the name of the game. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.